lecture, we are trying to meditate upon these divine lives of the close associates of the Lord. So that is our prayer. May we sing praises to ye, and enjoy with strong limbs and body the life allotted to us by the gods. That is life allotted to us. Let us use all this vocal cord, our lips, our mouth, our hands, our eyes, to think about them, to work along with the path they have shown to us. So today, we are going to talk about the relationship between Swami Vivekananda and Swami Premananda. We are starting today. Probably it may take 2 Sundays, probably 2 days, or maybe. Let us see. So, and it's very significant to start the discussion, because this is the week. At the end of this week, we are going to celebrate Swami Premananda's birthday. So let us start. His pre-monastic name was Baburam Ghosh. Was born on Tuesday, 10 December 1861 at Atpur, a village 30 miles from Calcutta. Very little is known about Baburam's early life, but he was an extremely handsome child with a fair complexion. It is said that even as a little boy of 4 or 5, he could not bear the idea of marriage. From his very childhood, Baburam knew his goal. When he was 8, he would imagine a beautiful wooded place on the bank of the Ganges, where he would live in a hut with another monk and meditate on God. That was his childhood dream. These holy wishes were fulfilled when Baburam came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshineshwar. So Baburam studied a few years in the village school. After that, after finishing that study, his mother sent him to his uncle in North Calcutta to continue his education. North Calcutta means where Bagh Bazar, Shobha Bazar, Sham Bazar, this is important places. You will see again and again these names in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Ahiri Tola, Kumar Tuli, this is the names. You probably, whenever you read, you came across with these names. Some of them at least. Here he was first admitted to Bongo Vidyalaya. Vidyalaya means school. And Bongo means Bengali, Bangla. So the name of the school was Bongo Vidyalaya. Vidyalaya means school. So according to Amar Jiban Katha, the autobiography of Swami Abhedananda, he wrote, it was around 1876, he found Baburam as his classmate. So before they came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna, these people knew each other as a student, young boy. And again, when after that he was admitted to first Aryan school and finally to Metropolitan School, Sham Bazar, where M was the headmaster and Rakhal was his classmate. So understand the relationship. They knew each other from the very childhood. So we have seen that M. Mahendranath Gupta, the compiler of Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, was the headmaster of the school. And whose very life was already centered on Sri Ramakrishna. So he had a habit that he had not only surrendered his own life at Sri Ramakrishna's feet, but whenever he found an opportunity, he would also speak to his students about Sri Ramakrishna and even bring some of the more devout among them to Dakshineshwar. If he found in some students there is some potential to appreciate the life of Sri Ramakrishna, so he would take with him that particular student with him. Or sometimes he would inspire them. There is a saintly person at Dakshineshwar. If you find some time, you may visit him. So, probably it was in this way that Baburam first went with Master Mahasaya and had his first darshan of Sri Ramakrishna. So, we are following mainly Swami Gambhiranandaji. So, according to Gambhiranandaji, so we are giving all those informations. So, because we found one day when Master Mahasaya came to Belur Math afterwards, when Belur Math was established, Belur Monastery, so one day Master Mahasaya, that is M, they would call Mahasaya means sir. Master, you understand, teacher, revered sir. So that was the way, because in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, you can see Master generally means Gospel of that Sri Ramakrishna. But if you read Bengali, generally Sri Ramakrishna is calling, as he was teacher, Master. That is M. So M, when he came to visit Belur Math, he was sitting beside Baburam Maharaj. And generally they are talking about Sri Ramakrishna. So suddenly there are some young monks were there, monks and brahmacharis, Swami Baburam Maharaj, also same, Swami Premananda. Baburam Maharaj, as we generally would address him, but his monastic name was Swami Premananda. So, Swami Premananda was sitting there. Suddenly, pointing to M, he announced to all present, here, because of his grace, this gentleman, because of his grace, my life has been blessed. If he had not taken me to Thakur, means Sri Ramakrishna, would I ever have received Sri Ramakrishna's compassion? So, unique. Sri Ramakrishna would appreciate that kind of relationship. Somebody who introduced you with a noble path. That feeling of that I am indebted to that person, because this person introduced me with a different dimension of life. So he pointed out, this is the person, my teacher, who introduced me with Sri Ramakrishna. But M, in even greater humility, protested. What are you saying? In Bengali it is very more sweet. से सब कथा कि बोलते आचे वो सब बात कहने का नहीं in Hindi. So what are you saying? Such words should not be spoken. A pure sattvic soul, an intimate of Thakur, you were drawn by him alone. You are a pure sattvic soul, and you are close. You know that some point Ishwara Koti and Jiva Koti. Ishwar Koti, Sri Ramakrishna would talk about those 5 or 6 people. They are very, very pure soul, very, very special person among the direct disciples. So he told, no, it is you are a pure soul. That's why Sri Ramakrishna, that he attracted you. Of course, there are more stories. Baburam had once before, by sheer chance, caught sight of Sri Ramakrishna at a Horisabha in Jorasako. Horisabha, a religious gathering, when you talk about maybe reading from Bhagavatam, reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, like that. So, in that gathering, holy gathering, in Jorasako, again in North Calcutta, a place, Sri Ramakrishna had gone there to listen to the Bhagavata. But at that time, Baburam didn't know that this was the Paramhamsa of Dakshineshwar. He saw that holy man. Although he had already heard from his elder brother, Tulsiram. that in Dakshineshwar there lived a saint who frequently went into divine ecstasy like Gauranga. Gauranga means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Familiar name. And probably have noticed the name of the elder brother was Tulsi Ram. So you may that enjoy. Tulsi Ram, Babu Ram, and younger one was Shanti Ram. That kind of name. And Sri Ramakrishna's family also you can say Ram Kumar, Ramakrishna, Rameshwar, Sudhi Ram. So that is the way they would keep those names. So he heard from his elder brother there is a saint in Dakshineshwar, so who frequently went into divine ecstasy like Chaitanya, or another name is Gauranga. Again, there are more connections with Baburam's family. So even before Baburam's visit to Dakshineshwar, his brother-in-law, who was that Balaram Bose, had surrendered himself at Sri Ramakrishna's feet. Therefore, in Balaram's household, the name and glory of Sri Ramakrishna were not unknown. So, after Baburam went to Dakshineshwar, these connecting threads gradually revealed themselves and drew him with even greater force. And there are more connections. Sri Ramakrishna would visit at Kamarpukur when he first came to Kolkata as a young boy of 16, 17 years old. Sri Ramakrishna, he would visit a place, Digambar Mitro's house. So there are Digambar Mitro, there are like some Mitras, their last name. They were there. They were from Atpur. But again, that although Sri Ramakrishna's Manasaputra, called spiritual son, Rakhal, later Swami Brahmananda, studied in the same school with Baburam, and the two were quite close friends. Rakhal used to go to Dakshineshwar without Baburam's knowledge. Only after becoming acquainted with Sri Ramakrishna did Baburam learn of this. So from then on, the two spent long hours talking about Sri Ramakrishna and often went to Dakshineshwar together. Now we are going to, there is a reminiscences. Now how Baburam first came to know about Noren, Swami Vivekananda. Now the entry of Noren in Swami Premananda's life. So it was probably on 8th April 1882, Baburam reminisced about that memorable visit when he came to know Sri Ramakrishna very closely. He stayed there at Dakshineshwar one night. So Baburam Maharaj, he told like that, Swami Brahmananda and I went to Hatkhola Ghat in West Calcutta to take a boat for Dakshineshwar. If you see, those maps are still available, that ferry ghat we would call. From there, you could find a boat to go Dakshineshwar. But that was the way in those days. Hardly you would get some, no question about motor car. Some horse carriage were there, but generally people would prefer boats. So both of them, they went to that ferry ghat, and there we met Ram Dayal Babu, Ram Dayal Chakraborty, who was a close friend of Balaram Bose's family. Learning that he was also going to see Ramakrishna, we got in a boat together. It was almost dusk when we reached Rani Rashmoni's Kali temple. We went to the master's room and were told that he had gone to the temple to pay obeisance to the mother of the universe, to Mother Kali. He went to the temple. Asking us to stay there, Swami Brahmananda went towards the mother's temple to find the master. So we are mentioning that Swami Brahmananda, these names we have to keep in mind, but it was, all those things happened before their sannyasa. They were known as Rakhal only. Rakhal, Baburam, they were not familiar with their monastic names. So, soon I saw him holding on to the master very carefully and guiding him, saying, "Here are steps, be careful." Rakhal was holding Sri Ramakrishna's hand and saying one like that, "Here steps, be careful, up and downs." I had already heard that the master, means Sri Ramakrishna, would often become overwhelmed with ecstasy and lose outer consciousness. Therefore, I knew that he was in an ecstatic mood when I saw him coming, reeling like a drunken man. First time coming. So, it is as they came from a devoted family, so they had that idea. These holy people sometimes they behave like that. He entered the room in that state and sat on a small bedstead. Shortly afterwards, he came back to normal consciousness. So now he was recalling Baburam, that particular night, what happened to that night. So a few hours were spent delightfully in religious talk. We took our supper after 10 p.m. and lay down on the southeast veranda of the master's room. Southeast veranda means inside the courtyard, not Nahabat side. Towards, if you want to go to Kali temple or Vishnu temple or any other temples from Sri Ramakrishna's room, you have to walk through that southeast veranda, that side, inside of the master. Beds were arranged for the master and Swami Brahmananda in the room. But scarcely had an hour passed when the master came out of his room and came to our bedside. It was night. So probably it was around 11 o'clock or little after that, Sri Ramakrishna in that night. And in those days, no electricity. 11 o'clock at night means night, really night. No light, dark, only moonlight probably. So they came at that night. Beds, okay. Addressing Ramdayal Babu, he asked affectionately, "Are you sleeping?" Pushing. Tomra ki ghumule? So, are you sleeping? Both of us quickly sat up in our beds and replied, "No, sir." The master said, "Look, I have not seen Narendra for a long time, and I feel as if my whole soul were being forcibly wrung like a wet towel." I'm feeling like that suddenly. Please ask him to come once and see him. He is a person of pure sattva qualities. He is Narayana himself. I cannot have peace of mind if I don't see him now and then. Ramdayal Babu had been visiting Dakshineshwar for some time, so the childlike nature of the master was not unknown to him. He knew Sri Ramakrishna, especially in nights, he generally goes into ecstatic mood. And he knew what is happening. So seeing that behavior, he knew that master was in ecstasy. He tried to console the master by promising that he would see Narendra first thing in the morning and ask him to come. Tomorrow morning I'll go to Narendra and will ask him, "Please visit Dakshineshwar." And similar other things. Okay. But the master's mood was not at all alleviated that night. Knowing that we were getting no rest, he would return to his room now and then for some time. Suddenly, somehow, just like a child, okay, they need some rest. And he would return to his room. But after a while, he would forget and again come back to us and begin speaking of Narendra's good qualities, expressing pathetically the terrible anguish of his mind on account of Narendra's long absence. Again and again, the whole night, it passed like that. Can you think like that? The feeling, the love towards Narendra. It is not for we have to understand, as he is special in him, Sri Ramakrishna saw the special manifestation of Narayana himself. So always we have to now and then, because these relationships are not ordinary relationships. And he would take a special role in his mission, Sri Ramakrishna's mission. So anyhow, in the morning, Baburam found the master quite normal, and there was no trace of anxiety on his face, a normal person. He was overwhelmed, Baburam was overwhelmed observing Sri Ramakrishna's love for Narendra, and he thought Narendra must be a very hard-hearted person. So, okay, what to do? So this incident, why we are saying that we'll understand afterwards. This incident had left an indelible impression on Baburam. Baburam never forgot the exceptional love the master bore for Swamiji, Swami Vivekananda. Out of deep devotion, he felt it is his duty. We'll understand more clearly when we go through all those incidents. So 2 incidents, not much. So he found it is his self-imposed duty that to see that Naren, that is Swami Vivekananda, never in any way fell short of that trust. In his earnestness, he carried this responsibility with seriousness, and at times, as we'll see, it brought a little needless worry to Swamiji and a few of the other brother disciples. So anyhow, after this few days after this visit, Baburam went to Dakshineshwar again, and when Sri Ramakrishna saw, here is Baburam, and with lovingly affectionate tone, he told, "It is nice that you have come. Go to the Panchavati. Something is happening there in the Panchavati." Panchavati, you know, that grove where Sri Ramakrishna did all his sadhanas. But at the same time, it was a place of meditation, and sometimes these young disciples, they would do some picnic there. So that day, he told, go to Panchavati, where they are having a picnic. Others go. Carry this firewood there. Carry this firewood there. Narendra has come. Have a talk with him. Go. At the Panchavati, Baburam found Rakhal there, who introduced him to Narendra and some other young devotees of Sri Ramakrishna. They were having great fun. Baburam had heard about Narendra's greatness beforehand from Sri Ramakrishna. Now he was impressed by the beautiful eyes, large, that expressing eyes of Naren, and handsome, vigorous form. His friendly jokes and humor, fiery conversation, and heavenly singing captivated Baburam's mind. He quickly realized that Narendra was a brilliant man who excelled in everything. Now, we do not have much data or maybe conversation that took place between Naren and Baburam in gospel or somewhere. But they were present some occasions in the same scene. Both of them were present, but not direct conversation. We do not have that evidence, historical evidence kind of data that we can quote from there. But there was a close relationship, of course, that we'll try to find out. So another instance we have seen, interestingly, in Gospel of Holy Mother, where these 2 brothers were present. What was the incident? It happened in Kashipur. Sri Ramakrishna already developed that early signs of cancer, and he was taken from Dakshineshwar to Shampukur, a place in North Calcutta, and then from Shampukur to Kashipur, a larger house with open courtyard, ponds, beautiful location. So here something happened. So at Kashipur house, some of you probably visited that place, if you go inside the main building, you will see a wooden staircase. So in those days, it was there. So it is already very difficult to climb that, so steep. So the wooden staircase was so steep that even ordinary people found it difficult to climb up or down. So nowadays, that's why in photograph you can see that the authority of that monastery, they have separately built one, I think, metal staircase outside of the building, so that when 1st January, the special Kalpataru day, the special day where thousands of people would visit that place, they cannot climb through that staircase. So for them, a different arrangement you will see now. So, but those days it was only that staircase. So one day, while carrying a bowl containing about 2.5 seers of milk, Holy Mother began to ascend those steps. Suddenly, she felt maybe dizzy or lose that balance. It is really steep if you go. You can see that. So he felt a little dizzy and fell. The milk was, of course, all spilled, and what was worse, her ankle bone was dislocated, leaving her unable to walk. Naren and Baburam quickly came and lifted her up. Soon the injured spot swelled painfully, and Sri Ramakrishna was deeply pained to hear of that. And also he was so much dependent on Holy Mother's service. Holy Mother would know how to cook his special diet. In those days, it was very difficult to swallow even the food. So he was so depending on Holy Mother. So, but in that situation also, Sri Ramakrishna's that pain, how who will feed me, who will cook it, all that pain expressed itself in a childlike way. So Holy Mother herself, she told about that incident. So in her own way, let us read a little bit. A mother, first time talking about Baburam and Naren. Baburam came to me when he was just a boy. How playfully the master used to talk then. Naren and Baburam would laugh till their sides ached. Once at the Kashipur garden house, I was carrying a bowl with about 2.5 seers of milk up the stairs, when I suddenly felt dizzy and fell. The milk was all spilled, and the bone in my ankle was displaced. Naren and Baburam rushed to lift me up. My foot swelled badly afterward. Some occasions were there, I was looking for where these two brothers, suddenly it came to mind. Okay, mother told something about this boy, these boys. So when the master heard of it, he said to Baburam, so then Baburam, what will happen now? How shall I eat? Who will feed me? Do you have any solution? Young boy. At that time, he used to take mand, Holy Mother is saying. They called, in Bengal, they call mando. That is the uchara, that is the pronunciation. Mando. So it is an easy to swallow and digestible food, generally made of rice or that kind of thing, soft. I would prepare it and carry it upstairs to feed him. I wore a nose ring then. You can visualize Holy Mother with a nose ring. I wore a nose ring then, so the master pointed to his nose and twisting his fingers in the shape of a nose ring, teasingly said to Baburam, "Oh Baburam, can you carry her?" Without mentioning the name, because Holy Mother was in her room, so here nobody was there. So can you carry her up here on your head in a basket? Can you do that? Hearing that, Naren and Baburam burst into laughter. Such were the playful ways the master had with them. After 3 days, when the swelling in my foot had gone down a little, They would gently help me up the stairs, and I would again feed him. During those few days, Golapma used to prepare the mand, that food, and Noren would feed him. So, so here we sometimes a few days here some of our friends sent me an email that Sister Nivedita once told that Swami Vivekananda never saw Holy Mother without any veil. Holy Mother used to wear a long veil around that. So then we answered, we cannot say definitely, but some incidents are there. There is a high chance to see Holy Mother without veil. But if Sister Nivedita's the source of information is Swamiji himself, then there is no doubt. But some possibilities also are there, like this kind of incidents. So, but we are not sure about that. So it is good to open the possibilities. So then came a significant event in the lives of the Master's monastic disciples when Sri Ramakrishna passed away in 1886, August. So we can see in December 24, 1886, all of these brother disciples, at least 9 of them, were present at Atpur. Atpur was the ancestral home of Swami Premananda, Baburam. And one interesting thing to see that sometimes when we study the lives of these monastic disciples, if you want to that think or maybe contemplate deeply, thoroughly, the role of their mothers, here and there you can see. So these kind of thing we miss in the lives of the direct disciples of Buddha or Jesus. So here, especially mother of Baburam Maharaj, Premanandaji, mother of Swami Vivekananda, now and then father of Swami Yogananda, you could see they are visiting the monastery. And it would give a different flavor or color in the biographies. So this Matangeni Devi, the mother of Baburam Maharaj, I think mothers are always like that. Not about Baburam, she would think about all those direct disciples as her own sons. So as everyone was grief-stricken when our Sri Ramakrishna passed away, so she invited all of them, come here. So all of them went there, and it was a winter time, and there are beautiful description. They are going to Atpur on the way. They are enjoying singing and all those things. They like a just outdoor project kind of thing. They went there, and that important thing happened on December 24. So that group was led by Swami Vivekananda. They took the vow of renunciation in front of a fire. They took the formal monastic vows a month later at Baranagar, when Swami Vivekananda gave Baburam the monastic name Premananda, means bliss of divine love. The name could not have been any more appropriate. It is worth noticing in this connection that the monastic names Swami Vivekananda gave his brother disciples were never chosen casually. Each name carried a quiet meaning, reflecting something of the recipient's background, temperament, or the deeper qualities of his nature. It goes without saying that Swamiji kept Sri Ramakrishna's view of them close to his heart while deciding their names. Sri Ramakrishna would call this Baburam, they were born from a part of Srimati Radharani. of Srimati Radha. Then that interesting incident happened, that self-imposed responsibility kind of thing. In the early months of 1890, Swamiji traveled to Gazipur to meet Pauhari Baba, for whom he held great admiration. So Pauhari Baba, you can find this name in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna also. Somebody visited UP. In those days, it is a different name of Uttar Pradesh, different name, but now it is in UP, Uttar Pradesh. So visited that place and went to see Pauhari Baba. Pauhari Baba means Pavan Ahari Baba. Pavan means air, hardly he would eat something. So the local people called him that saint who, eats air only. So from there, Pavan Ahari, it came Pauhari. He was a famous saint of that age. And in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, one incident I remember where somebody visited Pauhari Baba, saw Pauhari Baba, and on returning to Dakshineshwar, talking about that saint, so he mentioned Pauhari Baba had a great respect for Sri Ramakrishna. He has kept one photograph of you in his room. He saw that. And he already admired Sri Ramakrishna as an avatar, as an incarnation. So all those connections were there. So Swamiji went there. At that time, we have to understand the mind of Swamiji, Swami Vivekananda. So he had not yet found a clear path for fulfilling the enormous and delicate mission entrusted to him by the Master. That intimate talk that happened at Kashipur, Sri Ramakrishna conveyed about his mission. They are not like a ordinary guru and disciple. They have a special mission, some responsibility. But Swamiji was looking for that, to give that a shape. Everything was in mind. So that made him apparently little restless. Apparently, I should say. Pauhari Baba's intense austerity, so rare, unusual, and noticeably different from the Master's, the Sri Ramakrishna's gentle, natural way of life, made an impression on Swami Vivekananda. His mind was in a searching mood, urgently seeking a way to move forward with his task. And he felt that perhaps this saint, this Babaji, might offer some guidance. It is possible that he wished to learn some yogic disciplines from him, hoping that such practices might quiet the agitation within his mind, looking for somebody as a guide. So it was at this time, Swami Premananda was in Kashi, not far away from Gazipur. So his first attempt to safeguard Swami Vivekananda's allegiance to the Master took shape. He thought probably Naren forgot his guru. So, because remember about that night, that he saw Sri Ramakrishna's love. And there are many instances during Dakshineshwar period, Shampukur or Kashipur period. So he went there. With a sense of responsibility, he journeyed to Gazipur in March 1890, despite his frail health. Baburam Maj was not keeping well. Still, just think about the siblings, your younger or elder brother. So, out of concern, he went there. So, to bring his brother monk back from what he believed to be Pauhari Baba's overpowering influence. So, but Swamiji was Swamiji. So in Life of Swami Vivekananda by Eastern and Western disciples. In that book, these lines you may find. So it goes like that. Premananda was one of those who mistook the Swami's devotion to Pauhari Baba for disloyalty to Sri Ramakrishna. He came to Gazipur towards the middle of March 1890 to persuade the Swami to go to Varanasi. Come with me, you need not to stay here. Moreover, he had set out in bad health. The Swami, that is Swami Vivekananda, reproved him and sent him to Varanasi to look after Abhedananda. On March 31, he wrote to Pramoda Babu, the local zamindar or landlord in Kashi, a wealthy person, a friend of these Ramakrishna disciples. So he wrote to Pramoda Babu, another brother of mine, that is Premananda, has been with me but has left for Abhedananda's place at Varanasi. The news of his arrival has not yet been received, but his health being bad, I am rather anxious for his sake. And in one hand, he rebuked Premanandaji, go, I am not coming with you. Leave me alone. But at the same time, you see, brotherly concern. He wrote, please take care of Premananda. I am rather anxious for his sake. I have behaved very cruelly towards him. That is, I have harassed him much to make him leave my company. And Swamiji's mood, you may remember. So again and again, he wanted to stay alone with other direct disciples also, you can see. So here, the spirit of that probably Swami Premananda at that time didn't realize. So his spirit, we can understand from a letter written to Swami Akhandananda. That Swamiji is writing, Swami Vivekananda is writing, my motto is to learn whatever good things I may come across anywhere. This leads many friends at Baranagor. It is not about Swami Premanandaji, others, some devotees also. So this leads many friends at Baranagor to think that it will take away from me devotion to the Guru. These ideas I count as those of lunatics and bigots. For all Gurus are one and are fragments and radiations of God, the universal Guru. That was Swamiji's spirit. And Sri Ramakrishna also, as long as I live, so long I learn something. Shokhi jabod bachi, the same spirit. But again you see, Premanandaji also right. In a letter, so it was in March 1890. In March itself, Swamiji is writing. So he met after for a long time he was struggling to meet even Pauhari Baba. Pauhari Baba received him, but Swamiji, he quickly realized Sri Ramakrishna was unique. He was matchless. Rather, Pauhari Baba always was ready to learn something from Swamiji. Swamiji didn't realize about his potential around that time. So it was like some kind of eye-opening kind of incident happened. So he is writing in March from Gazipur to that Pramodada's Mitra in Kashi. What was that? Beautiful some lines. I will try to read as short as possible, but I doubt. The lines are beautiful. So he started, so he wrote the letter, then special note after ending that one. It was a beautiful letter. I cannot read the whole thing, but some part from the special note I should read. So you can understand the story behind that. Because especially many now writers, they explain this part of Swamiji's life accusing Premanandaji. Some of them, without reading very closely, they made some shallow remark. That did some injustice to Swami Premananda. It's not like that. So now, in March itself, Swamiji is writing. Special note. To no big person am I going any longer. In Bengali, again, আর কোনো মিয়ার কাছে যাইব না, হ্যাঁ, अब से हम कोई मियाँ के पास नहीं जाएंगे और दूसरा कोई, हाँ. So I am to no big person am I going any longer. Then quoting from a song that Sri Ramakrishna would sing frequently. So it goes like that. Remain, O mind, within yourself. Go not to anybody else's door. Whatever you seek, you shall obtain sitting at your ease. Only seek for it in the privacy of your heart. There is the supreme treasure, the philosopher's stone, and he can give whatever you ask for countless gems, O mind, lie strewn about the portals of his abode. He is the, I think it should be her, okay, or his or her. So of his abode, he is the wishing stone that confers boons at the mere thought. So says the poet Ram Prasad. Actually, it should be Kamalakanta, who is the poet of the song, but anyhow. So now he is continuing. So now the great conclusion is that Ramakrishna has no peer. Nowhere else in this world exists that unprecedented perfection, that wonderful kindness for all that does not stop to justify itself, that intense sympathy for man in bondage. You see where Sri Ramakrishna is thinking. They may be great saint, always thinking about themselves. You see where he found no match. He wrote that intense sympathy for man in bondage, that compassion, matchless. Either he must be the avatara, as he himself used to say, or else the ever perfect human, divine man, whom the Vedanta speaks of as the free one who assumes a body for the good of humanity. This is my conviction, sure and certain, and the worship of such a divine man has been referred to by Patanjali in the aphorisms, or the goal may be attained by meditating on a saint. In aphorism we can find. So it goes on, a beautiful thing. So I'm keeping some of the part. So you can read that. It is written to Pramodadas Mitra, March 1890, from Gazipur, the last part, that praising Sri Ramakrishna. So his love towards Sri Ramakrishna was deep-rooted, inseparable. In other words, that we'll see probably afterwards, Swami Omkarananda told, there Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Gata Prana. For them, Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda were same. So now, a similar incident we can see occurred once again. Swamiji was still abroad at that time, means in the US, working, all those things. Through a few Indian newspapers, portions of his early American lectures gradually reached devotees in India and his brother disciples. So, especially 1893, the September, the Chicago, the parliament happened, and slowly, by the end of 1893 or beginning of 1894, the devotees and the brother disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, some newspaper reports, especially Indian Mirror, in that newspaper, they could see the lectures, brief lectures, summary of the lectures. So, the unusual themes of those lectures, and especially the absence of Sri Ramakrishna's name initially, deeply surprised Swami Premananda and some of the devotees. He may have felt, or maybe they may have felt for a moment, that Swami Vivekananda, after going to the West, had forgotten the master's immense influence on his life. But this misunderstanding lasted only a few months. By the summer of 1894, when Swamiji's second letter arrived at the monastery, all confusion melted away the moment they read it. They did a lot of things. They were quite verbal, talking about what Naren is doing there, And Mahendra Datta even wrote about some more things. So, but we have to remember that, we must remember that Swamiji and his brother disciples had not met for a long time. The profound affection they had shared while living together in the Baranagar monastery is beautifully reflected in one of Swami Premananda's letters. So when we read all those incidents, we must be very careful that about their mind, what is happening around them. So even you see, with Premanandaji for a long time, at least it happened 1890, this Gazipur episode, and we are talking about 1894. So 3-4 years. There was no connection. And now and then Swami Brahmananda, Swami Akhandananda, Swami Turiyananda, they have seen Swamiji in various places, in Mount Abu, in Mumbai. They were also surprised to see. That, sometimes this is different Noren. Okay, let us read from the Swami Premananda's letter, little bit from there. He wrote, it was written in 1916 to a monk. Listen, my child, there is still time. You are young, your minds are yet tender. Pray to the Master with all your heart. Weeping earnestly, he will surely show you the way. Give up all thoughts of I and mine. From today, may you become one in heart and soul by the grace of the Lord. May He grant you right understanding. This is my earnest prayer. It is I, it is ego. That is the obstacle in spiritual life. It is good that you have opened your heart. What I have written is not for you alone, but for all. I am not angry with you, nor with anyone. I write only for your welfare, because I look upon you all as my own. That is the reason. When there is no love, people become indifferent. You see? So when they are talking to each other, complain to each other, means they care for you. That is the thing that's happening there. When love awakens, all hardness melts away and joy overflows. If you get something good, let your brothers have it before yourself. This is how true feeling grows and devotion arises. Always look at one another's good qualities. Never pay attention to faults. To look for faults is disastrous. It brings no benefit. Then he was talking about Baranagar monastery, giving example. We lived like this in Baranagar. Whenever any good thing came, we would feed our brothers first. Sometimes they would even hold my hands and feet and thrust the good food into my mouth. Just visualize. Now you can understand, Judge. If I didn't see Noren for a day, I would run to Calcutta to find him. And what an attraction! What boundless affection Noren had till his very last day, till his last moment. All that seems now like a sacred legend. Because Swami, in mortal body, he left us. So it became for us a story. And not even that. When I hear that Rakhal, that is Swami Brahmananda, is thinking of leaving the mat, I feel a hollow emptiness within, as though my very inside has become vacant. It happened. He was talking about Swami Brahmananda also. So when he would visit to some other places to look after other centers, one incident is there. So Swami Brahmananda repeatedly requested Swami Brahmananda, Raja, please come, please come with the letters. So Raja Maharaj was in his mood. So Swami Premananda went to that place, fell on his feet. Please, you have to come. So they were very unique. And about Premananda ji, he was no trace of ego. We'll discuss probably in our next discussion. And here he told, if I didn't see Naren for a day, I would run to Calcutta to find him. There is one incident. So we will share with you in our probably next Sunday. Not next Sunday, that when this lecture, part 11, will come. Om Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhritavigraham Vai Ishavatarang Parameshamidyam Tang Ramakrishnang Shirasa Namama. Salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, who is worshipped by all and is perfect embodiment of the eternal truth, manifesting in various forms to guide and help mankind. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Good morning, everybody. Next Sunday, I shall speak, but Thursday there is no class because it is Thanksgiving Day. And we have a tradition here on Thanksgiving, Christmas, 1st of January. We have vigil, 6 to 6, morning 6, evening 6. One of the devotees comes and sits in the shrine, especially those who are initiated. They sit in the shrine, they repeat their mantra, and they meditate. And there is a sheet, is there the program. Those who want to join, please put their names. That I want this slot, this slot, this slot. It is very important. We started this for many, many years. We are doing this. During the COVID time, we did not follow it, but we have started. Please join. It will create a good atmosphere. And now there will be Zoom meeting. Those who want can attend the Zoom meeting, and Swami will sit in the